Hey there, LEGO and Mega Construction fans! Check out what big figures I've already built. You see the Hulkbuster, Wolverine, Bionicle-style Deadpool, Batman, Darth Vader, the massive Titan TV Man, and Titan Speaker Man from the Skibidi Toilet universe. And that's just part of the collection. You'll find all the links in the description. Of course, all these builds had their ups and downs. That's why I recommend watching the reviews. I talked about everything there, and today we're adding a brand new figure to the collection. This luxurious, gigantic Spider-Man, half taken over by Venom. It's made from 539 pieces. As you probably noticed, this is not an official LEGO set. I think it's unique. At least I haven't seen an official version of it. If you have, please drop the set number in the comments. The box is huge. Let's unpack it and see what's inside. I have to say, it really seems like Chinese manufacturers are getting better and better at making high-quality LEGO-style sets. Even the packaging has improved. Not long ago, the boxes used to be absolutely terrible, but this one is actually packed really well. So let's take a look at what we've got inside. We have several bags and an instruction manual. By the way, the bags are numbered. Now, we've had this situation before. The bags were numbered, but the contents inside were totally mixed up. The numbers didn't match the actual build order. I had to dump everything into one big pile and dig through it. That was really inconvenient, especially with larger, more ambitious builds. How many pieces do we have here? Well, not too many. It's totally manageable even if we throw everything together in one pile. Let's see. Maybe this time the Chinese manufacturer decided to surprise us and actually sorted everything correctly by bag. You've probably noticed I've got a bandage on my finger. It's nothing serious. A couple of weeks ago, I was cooking, cutting up carrots, and the knife slipped. I cut myself. I mean, I've been cooking for years, handling knives all the time, and then this happened. Such a silly accident, but the cut was pretty bad. Unfortunately, my work means I have to use my hands a lot and show everything on camera, so I didn't really get a chance to give that finger a proper break. But I hope it doesn't affect how much you enjoy the video. Anyway, let me tell you a bit about the process of building this Venom-possessed Spider-Man. It uses a really interesting construction technique. There's a cool little detail. We're building what looks like symmetrical left and right sides of the body, but they regularly differ in subtle ways. Not just in color, but in decorative elements too. For example, the Spider-Man side is usually smoother, less bulky, with more elegant lines. The Venom side, on the other hand, is often made with rougher shapes and spiky structures. It actually looks awesome, and it's fun to build. You can really see the thought the designers put into it. When a figure is made with care and passion, it always shows. And in this case, it's very clear they put in real effort. Just look at the back plate. You can tell it's really well made. Speaking of quality, I want to point out that the packaging was top-notch. The box was great, the instruction paper was high quality, and the plastic, also very high quality, at least so far. Sure, there will be some flaws. But if you've seen the video where I directly compared LEGO's Wolverine with a LEGO-style knockoff, check that one out. I have to be honest, I was disappointed in LEGO. I can confidently say that in that video, LEGO didn't perform much better than the Chinese alternative. Yes, LEGO usually has fewer problems. The parts fit better and moving pieces don't wobble. But in that set, LEGO really messed up. The elbow joint was too loose. That was very disappointing. I hope it was just a one-time issue. Anyway, I haven't seen this problem in other LEGO sets so far. Like I've said before, if you're building something complex with moving parts like a car, robot, or anything from LEGO Technic, it's better to use official LEGO. Unofficial sets can cause trouble. Some parts might be too loose, others too tight. That can break how the whole thing works. With real LEGO, that almost never happens. But if you just want to have fun and build something simple, then LEGO-compatible sets can be really good. The quality is often great. I highly recommend my video review of the Deadpool and Wolverine minifigure set. These figures are amazing. Honestly, even some real LEGO minifigures aren't this well made. They're some of the best I've ever built or seen. And the video turned out really good, so I really recommend watching it. One downside of this set, though, is the stickers. They're not great. The quality isn't very high, and the colors aren't very bold. No serious complaints, but they could have been sharper and better made. I've just finished building the first bag, and it turned out great. I used almost all the pieces with just a few extras, and everything went smoothly. Now I'm opening the second bag and continuing the build. I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised by how well the pieces were sorted. Honestly, this brand might be worth remembering. I might even try another set from them in a future review. Maybe they really do make higher quality construction sets. If so, this could be a hidden gem. That said, I still wouldn't trust them with more complex builds, like something from Lego Technic. Even with this set, I expect a few small issues to show up. Speaking of Technic-style builds and off-brand sets, I have just built a Lego-style Ferrari with 5,000 pieces. It was super complex and really challenging. Video is coming soon, and yeah, there were definitely moments where you could tell it wasn't quite on par with real Lego. So the legs are done. We've connected the thigh to the lower leg, and the result is a strong, solid build. Always test the joints, and here it moves just right. Not too loose, not too stiff, it works perfectly. From the start, I had a feeling this set would be good for play. It doesn't seem to have too many moving parts, just elbows, shoulders, hips, and knees. All of them are simple and sturdy. It also didn't seem like there were too many pieces overall, which I thought was a good thing. Fewer small parts usually mean less risk of them falling off. But unfortunately, there are quite a few decorative pieces that get in the way of movement and play. They look nice, but they don't stay on very well. And yes, they do fall off. We'll get to that part soon. And for good playtime, Bionicle-style figures are much better. They are simple, posable, and fun. Of course, these big robot builds look amazing, but they're not always playable. The joints can be stiff and parts fall off too easily. And this Spider-Venom is no exception. First, let's talk about a small issue. One piece was missing. I checked everything and even waited to see if it would show up in another bag, but no, it just wasn't there. Luckily, I had the same piece in my old stash of original Lego, so I used that to finish the foot. Later on, I noticed more missing pieces. Same type, the ones with 2 studs. I thought, if they show up in the next bag, good. But I was still able to build a decorative part of the leg without them. They never did turn up, so I just left it as it is. Even though it wasn't a big problem, it did leave a bit of a bitter aftertaste. I mean, imagine if the missing piece had been something unique to this set, like a joint or a special part. That could have ruined the whole build. Luckily, in my case, it was a common piece. Now take a look. I'm building the arms. Just like before, there are lots of decorative extras. They look cool at first, but they add clutter. And during play, they fall off pretty easily. The elbow joint is a bit weak. I've seen this exact joint used before in some Mech Armor builds. I'll show a quick clip here. In those smaller figures, it worked just fine. But with bigger, heavier arms like on this figure, joints like these can start to loosen over time. For now though, everything's holding up well. I just finished building Spider-Man's fist. and it looks almost identical to the one from the Spiderman Mech Armors set I built earlier. The video should pop up here. See? The design is absolutely the same. Now let's add the web shooting effect. The Mech armor had one too, but it was way too big and didn't fit the figure well. This one looks much better, more balanced and better proportioned. It's not super practical for play, but it looks great on display. The hand overall is simple, but solid. Now I'm working on Venom's arm. Once again, there are a lot of decorative parts, and I'm still a bit concerned they might fall off during active play. Just as I started thinking about it, boom, one of the decorative pieces popped off. It wasn't well attached. I actually showed how to fix stuff like this in an earlier video, using Play-Doh. It dries hard but breaks off easily when needed, and it's simple to remove since it acts like a non-Newtonian fluid. Check out my Wolverine figure comparison. I explained the trick there in detail. I'm also planning a separate video all about fixing loose joints and wobbly parts using simple household items. It can really make building easier and more fun. Now let's talk about what I loved in this set. Venom's fist. The design looks great, kind of like Thor's mech armor hand, but this one has these amazing claws that make it look even more epic. Honestly, 5 stars. It's so cool, it almost makes me forget the flaws. I think I actually like Venom's hand more than Spider-Man's, even though one of the spikes doesn't stay in place very well. Let's build the whole body and check how the joints work. No problem so far. Everything moves perfectly. But once I add Venom's arm, it's clear some decorative parts will probably fall off. Overall, this set feels better for display than for play. Right now, I'm going to take off a few of those decorative pieces so the figure can lie flat on the table without anything getting in the way. Then we'll move on to the head, probably the most important part design-wise.
Yeah.
About the head with the mask, I'm not super impressed. It's pretty simple and could have been done better. I'd love to try redesigning and upgrading Venom's head in a separate video. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. We've seen similar heads before, like on the Batman and Wolverine figures. They had their problems too. Not very playable, pieces falling off, and the look wasn't that exciting. This Spider-Man-Venom fusion doesn't give me huge wow moments either. But I will say, the tongue looks really cool and dramatic. It definitely lifts the whole look of the mask and head. This figure doesn't have a lower jaw, only the upper one. But thanks to the tongue, it looks way more interesting. With the tongue in place, the whole figure feels different. Honestly, I even like it despite the head's flaws. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you like this kind of head design, and if I should make a video trying to improve it. We're almost done. Now it's time to add the tentacle-like decorative pieces. They're really easy to put together. The same style was used in the Mech Armor sets. Overall, those Mech Armors are probably more refined design-wise, but visually, this figure looks super epic. Oh, and one of the shoulder pieces just fell off. The classic problem with these figures. They're not quite Bionicle-style or simple Mech Armors. They're complex builds with lots of decorative parts that can fall off during play. But aside from that, this set is really cool. Let's finish building and take a final look. I'll also compare it to two similar figures I've built before and share how this one stacks up. First off, many parts on these figures fall off pretty easily. You'd think Batman wouldn't have much that pops off, right? Well, sure, the ears come right off with no effort. But there are other small parts that fall off too, like the decorative spikes. Those kept falling off all the time. Check out the build of Batman. These things you see kept falling off. Even now, some of them are probably lying somewhere in the box. Wolverine's the same. His ears also fall off easily. Plus, some of these tiny bits come off when you play and move the parts a lot. By the way, this is an official Lego set. I'm still not a fan of the head design, and his hunched posture doesn't help. Also, neither Wolverine nor Batman has a proper elbow joint. Their arms stay bent and don't really flex or straighten well. That said, the figures aren't bad. If you want them just for display, they look impressive. And Spider-Venom, his joints are more flexible. You can bend and straighten his arms however you want. Now, let's talk about Spider-Venom. Visually, he really stands out. Surprisingly so. There's something unusual and eye-catching about him. He's going to look seriously cool on any shelf. Sure, Wolverine's bright yellow might grab your attention faster than Spider-Venom's colors, but build-wise, Spider-Venom is way more interesting. I like him. When it comes to playability though, all those decorative pieces do fall off easily. Just now one popped off again, so not great for a rough play. What about the design? The weakest part is definitely the head. It looks cool but also feels unfinished, not very exciting. Funny enough, Batman's and Wolverine's heads actually look better. And here's the cool part. Since they all use standard Lego parts, you can swap heads. Let's see how that looks. I've always loved swapping heads on figures, and this one looks both cool and funny. The build could use some tweaks, maybe add some trapezius muscles to bulk it up. But honestly, I love it. It looks great. Oh, and another piece just fell off, a small decorative panel. This kind of thing can get annoying during play. If you're gentle, it's fine, but as a kid, I played rough, and figures like this wouldn't have lasted. In my opinion, Mech Armors are better for active play. Let's take a look at how it all turned out. Honestly, they could have made Wolverine less hunched. He would have looked way better. I really want to make a separate video where I redesign Wolverine's head and give it a cooler look. Anyway, let's swap the heads for good. It looks hilarious. Overall, I'd give this set 4 stars for playability. For appearance, it gets a solid 4.7. There are a lot of great design choices I really like. The only thing that holds it back a bit is the head. Everything else, really great. Now here's the final look at our completed figure. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. On the left, you'll find a playlist with my other big figure builds, including Wolverine and Batman from today. And on the right, YouTube picked a video just for you based on your interests. See you next time. Bye.